कैलगरी ग्रीनवे हल्के तो होर ही जिमनी चोण वास्ते कैलगरी लीडरशिप फोरम वालों ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ सियासी पार्टियां के उम्मीदवारों विच एक डिबेट करवाया गया। इस डिबेट नूं सुनने वास्ते इलाके के सैकड़े लोगों ने भाग लिया। इस मौके ते उगियां सियासी शख्सियतां भी मौजूद सन। ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ उम्मीदवारों ने पहलां अपने बारे जानकारी सांझी कीती अते बाद विच लोकां वल्लों पुछे गए सवालों का जवाब दिता। कैलगरी लीडरशिप फोरम संस्था इस उपराले लई वधाई दी पात्र है।
I've been a Calgarian for a long time now, and I graduated from the University of Calgary here. I've lived in 4 different countries, but I've chosen to make Calgary my home and to raise my young family here. I'm a mother of a 4-year-old daughter who's both my strength and my inspiration to do what I'm doing today. I used to be a show producer and host at Red FM, where my work focused primarily on issues and concerns faced by the residents of the Northeast. And I was also former constituency manager at the office of Honourable Irfan Sabir, who is our Minister of Human Services for Alberta. I worked there closely with parents, with families, people I could relate to. As the wife of an amazing man who bravely fought cancer, I've depended on and want to strengthen our public healthcare system. And as a member of a family that has suffered job losses because of the declining price of oil, I understand the importance of creating jobs in the city by ensuring that we work to diversify the economy while respecting our oil and gas sector and making it stronger.
I would also like to thank Mr. Brian Lee here from the Calgary Leadership Forum, who never failed to invite the Green Party to these events. Even without actually yet holding an elected seat in Alberta, I think they realize that the Greens have a powerful message, and that's actually why I'm here running again.
I'm running 2 businesses, real estate appraisal firms in Calgary and Alberta, and I work in the oil and gas sector. Besides from those, I sit on 2 Alberta government boards where we serve the most vulnerable Albertans, and I volunteer in the society as well. But why I'm here today, because I want to hear from the community, that what concerns you. These are the tough times. The Calgarians are losing their jobs. Alberta's economy is hurting. So we need a strong leadership. We need a strong system in place.
This is very important time in Alberta's history. This by-election gives voters in Calgary Greenway a chance to send a clear message to the NDP that they are not happy with their job-killing policies. Voters have a clear choice. More of the same risky ideological experiments from the NDP or Wild Rose, who have a proven track record of standing up for Alberta jobs. This is a time when Alberta is experiencing the worst job loss in the history. Since the NDP were elected in May 2000, 1,500,000 full-time jobs have disappeared. At a time when oil prices are going down, Wild Rose was the sole voice asking the NDP to back down from their risky plans.
My name is Khalil Kharbani, and I'm your Liberal candidate for Calgary Greenway. We are here today for this by-election due to unforeseen circumstances with my friend Mamit Buller. He was very close to me, and he was a pillar in this community. It will be exceptionally hard for any one of us to fulfill his shoes when we make it, inshallah. Today we are here, in my opinion, this election is about 2 things. 1, it's about the economy, and number 2, it's about the experience the candidates have. I am the only party candidate that is actually living in this riding. And with my experience, I am currently the president of Taradale Community Association, and being the president there, we partnered up with Saddle Ridge and Martindale to start up a sports centre in the northeast of Calgary. That centre, after 8 years of hard work, cost $125 million, and we as volunteers finished it, and all of you know it as the Genesis Centre.
In Calgary Greenway and other areas adjacent, I think there's a few people here that are a little bit worried about gunfire and bullets going through the air, and what kind of value system that would produce that kind of violence near our very homes, with bullets possibly going through our windows, our walls, and what kind of value system is breaking apart in Alberta. Now, I notice, there are many newcomers to Canada, and they come here to live a life of peace, of practicing your religion, a life of security, a life of educational advancement for your students. But then when you get here, you start to see some very strange things going on, things that are very disturbing. And you said, well, I came to Canada for peace, and I see violence happening. I see people who in government office are promoting values which are contrary to the values I hold.
These gentlemen and lady are about to prove you can say everything you need to say in 1 minute, because that's what you get for this question. So, when the 1 minute is up, Dolores is going to stand holding the red card. Dolores, and you're going to know it's time to move on to the next person. Canada is technically in a recession, and with a collapsing price of oil and falling Canadian dollar, Calgary unemployment is at 8.4%, a 20-year high. Calgary's been losing 1,000 jobs a week since oil prices crashed. What is your party's solution to create jobs and revive the economy without adding to the already $10 billion deficit?
I think the green solution is quite clear and simple, actually. Oil and gas right now, especially in Canada, we are shipping off a low-value product in a very saturated market right now. All right? What we need to do is quickly transition into a renewable energy sector. We can actually use the same people who have lost their jobs in the oil patch and actually employ them in the renewable energy sector right away. However, there are lots of policy barriers, especially in geothermal. And now geothermal can actually employ the same people who do drilling, piping, and as well as salespeople as well. These are directly relatable jobs. And right now, unfortunately, the government is not addressing the policy barriers in order to enable a lot of the renewable energy jobs to really have an equal level playing field with the energy sector. So a lot of people talk about diversifying the economy, but what we need to do is diversify.
3 things that we need to do to help this province today. The first thing is that we need to eliminate small business tax. And then that will start creating jobs and help grow the economy. The second thing we need to do is actually start smart infrastructure projects. Again, this would include schools, healthcare, and infrastructure. And then the third thing is that we need to finish Energy East Line pipeline to get our resources to the market.
Well, there is a difference between having ideas and there's a difference between having a plan that is in action. And we have a plan. We're supporting small and medium-sized businesses with $1.5 billion of venture capital and a new Promoting Job Creation Diversification Act. And of course, we're investing into our infrastructure, $2.1 billion in capital investment to move ahead on projects like that matter to Calgarians, like the Southwest Ring Road, Calgary Cancer Centre. And also, we appreciate the value that our oil and gas sector brings to the province. We're committed to working with Alberta energy companies to continue developing our natural resources in responsible and sustainable ways and investing the industry's cutting-edge innovations to continue diversifying and strengthening our economy. We're fighting for Energy East. We're also trying to get our pipeline come through BC as well. So we're working with the oil and gas sector. We're investing into medium-sized businesses, small-sized businesses, and that's how we plan to diversify the economy and create jobs.
This is an anxious time for Calgary and the rest of Alberta. The NDP government needs to be focused on getting our economy strong, not uncertainty, right? The way we're doing it, the way government is doing things is not helping people. See, that we need to diversify the economy. The government needs to appreciate businesses, small and larger corporations. So once we appreciate those businesses, then they can start investing, they can start creating jobs, right? And Energy East Pipeline needs to be, we need to support that today, not 10 years from now.
Our businesses are the one who create the jobs.
Yes,
We used to have the Alberta advantage, which is gone under PCs and NDP. We need to bring that Alberta advantage back. The Alberta advantage increased investment and employment in Alberta such that we can rely on high tax revenues from people and business without raising their taxes. And these both parties increase their taxes. Wildrose is the only party that won't raise the taxes. That won't scare the small business. That won't scare the medium-sized business. They're the one who create the jobs. After hiking personal and corporate taxes, NDP have now surprised us with another $3 billion carbon tax grab. That won't help businesses. We need to create a friendly business environment so they can tell their employees, you have a secure job. We are doing good. We need to bring that Alberta advantage back.
Prices. We have to cut back on government spending. We have to. We have to cut bureaucratic positions that are overfilling. For instance, Alberta Health Services. You see the people going into the headquarters down on Southland there. I've heard of a nurse, a doctor wanting to get a light bulb changed in a hospital, and it goes through about seven levels of decision making to change a light bulb. This is nonsense. Usually the doctor or the nurse, they end up buying one from the Walmart and putting it in themselves.
Alberta needs to thrive, and it needs to get our resources to market in an environmental and a responsible way. That's important. Climate change is a real issue for us, and we need to know how we can protect our country and our province. What are our options? Well, we've got several options that we haven't even started looking at. Wind, solar, dams, reservoirs. We haven't come across any of that. Make no mistake, we must focus on our resources and get the market to completing the Energy East pipeline so that Alberta's economy can improve. We've heard this several times over and over, but the fact is that we do need to get these pipelines built and finished. At the same time, we need to invest in renewable energies, green technologies, energies that both diversify the economy and improve our emissions into the atmosphere. It is good that Alberta has now a climate change. Thank you.
I'll thank Mr. Karbani for agreeing with our plan, because that's exactly what we intend to do. Thank you. Climate change is a reality. And carbon tax, I've been hearing from our opponents that we're going to charge $1,000 per household. That's a misrepresentation. The government figures are $500 on an average per family. And also, what is said is for low-income families, that money will be coming back as rebate. That's important to note. And carbon tax is not a tax, it's a levy. It's exactly what Mr. Karbani just said. Our product needs to be marketed. Our product needs to be marketed. Our product needs to get to the market that will buy the product and will generate revenue for us. Our markets are in Europe. Our markets are in Asia. Those markets will not buy our product if we do not put any carbon levy on it. We need to sell that product to make revenue for this province, and that's what we intend to do in a very sustainable manner. Thank you. And again, carbon tax, it's not going to be $1,000. That is a misrepresentation, and that's not what Albertans need today. Thank you.
You know, the government needs to stay out of Albertans' wallets. Yeah. So, this is not the time to put more taxes. This is the time to create jobs, right? So, I don't think this is the right time to punish people who are already losing the jobs. Thank you.
Well, we can argue the numbers, but let me be very clear. The NDP carbon tax is a $3 billion tax grab that will cost Alberta families. We can argue 500, 700, or 1,000, but it will cost the Alberta families a tax. That means more investment and jobs we will lose from Alberta. Wildrose has pushed to reduce emission with a natural gas strategy that complements intermittent renewals, reduces transmission cost, and burns 50% less carbon than coal. Phasing out coal is expensive, both in terms of standard assets and more capital going into gas and renewable bills. We will stand by this. Alberta is the leader in this by providing the oil, sending to the markets, and we will make sure Alberta's energy sector is the best in the world when it comes to innovation, accountability, stewardship, and fairness to the investors.
We have to realize that much of this climate change hocus pocus, I would say, has been a result of Marxist redistribution economics. Now, the Marxist professors moved from poli-sci to environmental sciences, and that's all that's happened. Now, if you want to prevent environmental disasters, stop offending the living God with our ethical decay. This book is the basis for Alberta ethics.
ਲੋਕ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਉਮੀਦਵਾਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਵਾਬਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਹੋਏ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ 22 ਮਾਰਚ ਨੂੰ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਹੀ ਦੱਸਣਗੇ।